everyone, this is Stephanie with the Freeport Community Library. I'll be doing another book recommendation today, and the book I'll be talking about is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. It's a historical mystery set in post-war Barcelona in 1945. It was originally published in Spain and has since been translated into English. The protagonist is Daniel Samper, the son of an antiquarian book dealer. While still mourning the loss of his mother, his father takes him to this secret place, an ancient library called the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, that preserves books thought lost to time. As it's Daniel's first visit, he is allowed to pick one book and take it home with him, and he is drawn to this novel called The Shadow of the Wind by Julian Carax. He's never heard of either before. When he takes it home, he reads it all in one night, he falls in love with it, and he tries to find other works by Carax, but he doesn't seem to be able to, and actually very few people have heard of Julian Carax. And as Daniel gets older, he encounters this mysterious figure who is hunting down and burning all remaining copies of Julian Carax's work. So intrigued by this mystery, Daniel sets off to find out what happened to Julian Carax while being watched by a corrupt policeman and the book burner himself. The book spans about 9 years of Daniel's life, and it's got, at times, a story within a story structure as he learns more about Julian. It's beautifully written, the language is vibrant, the narrative comes to life right from the page. The first chapter alone, when Daniel visits the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, very much feels like a love letter to book lovers. Just in the descriptions of this secret place that preserves books that you thought were destroyed and no longer exist, but they're still there. They're just waiting for the right reader. It was very magical, and I thought a great way to start the story. It is a mystery, but the book can also fall under the category of gothic fiction, as you see a fair amount of elements common to the subgenre, such as gloomy atmospheres, foreboding settings, nature and architecture, occasional angelic and demonic imagery, also corrupt villains, and emphasis on emotion and the sublime. The setting of Barcelona is beautiful, from the bookshops to the ancient library, the winding streets and buildings, and the abandoned palatial estates. I wanted to go there while I was reading it, honestly. One detail I really loved in the book were seeing snippets of Carax's other works. These little pieces of tidbits of his books that are just scattered throughout the narrative that were so intriguing. You kind of wanted to find these books and read them, but they don't exist outside the narrative. So you kind of get a real strong sense of how Daniel must be feeling as someone who loves this book, but these other stories are just inaccessible to him. And I thought that was a real great testament to the author's skill in writing this. You see a few themes present in the novel, such as fate, death, and the angelic and the demonic. You see fate best with Daniel, in that as his journey continues with finding more on Julian, you start to see their lives almost parallel. With the angelic and the demonic, that's best seen in characters that are compared to that type of imagery, not just in their appearance, but in how they affect the lives of others, whether they raise them up and save them, or whether they tear them apart. And not just other people's lives, but their own as well. The villain, Inspector Fumero, is a chilling portrayal of this. And the theme of death is handled in a unique way. It's not so much about dying, but more forgetting to live. Like, are you still going through life, living it to its fullest, or are you just wandering through it, going through the motions, haunted by whatever's happened in your past? A great example of that is Daniel's friend, Fairman, a man tortured during the war and who works to overcome his demons in order to live again. He was a great, entertaining character, and he's with Daniel a lot as he tries to solve this mystery. Ultimately, The Shadow of the Wind, it's a beautiful mystery full of haunted people and haunted places. It's a great throwback to Gothic fiction, and I couldn't put it down, so definitely check it out on the Cloud Library.